There's a reason they ask you to keep your seatbelts fastened while you're on a plane.
Oh wow, it's doing a go-around. Oh.
And the passengers on a Hawaiian Airlines flight are well aware of it.
Ella air travel represents a marvel of contemporary engineering, effectively shrinking the expanse of the world and making it more reachable than at any other point in history. If you assume that you've comprehensively grasped every nuance of flying and aircraft, reconsider. Even for frequent flyers who find themselves on planes weekly, there persist captivating elements and undisclosed mysteries that elude the awareness of passengers.
Remember, do not pull the red tag until you leave the aircraft.
Join us as we explore 25 flight secrets not told to passengers. Number 25, boarding last. Airplane boarding often ranks high on the stress meter during travel. Picture this familiar scenario. You've successfully navigated airport security, excitedly reaching your gate, only to encounter a lengthy line of fellow passengers eagerly awaiting their turn to board the flight. What many travelers may not realize is that hurrying to join this queue might not be as crucial as it seems. In reality, most airlines assign specific seats to passengers, rendering the rush to secure a spot in the line somewhat redundant. Despite some airlines grouping passengers for boarding, there's no strict obligation to adhere to this structure. Surprisingly, opting to board last emerges as a clever strategy to minimize your time spent waiting on board, especially if your carry-on is reasonably sized and easily accommodated in the overhead storage. By delaying your boarding, you contribute to a less congested gate area and jet bridge, ultimately expediting the entire boarding process. While biding your time, take a moment to peruse your boarding pass. The alphanumeric code, typically a 6-digit combination, is known as a passenger name record, PNR. This code, residing in the database of computer reservation systems, reveals valuable information such as your date of birth and contact details, ensuring accurate identification, especially in cases where passengers share the same name. The significance of your boarding pass extends beyond convenience. Mishandling it may pose security risks. Discarding your pass in a public trash bin is ill-advised, as the PNR code is a gateway to sensitive information. This database not only houses personal details, but also includes credit card information, passport details, and IP addresses for online bookings. An additional code that may catch your eye, albeit for less favorable reasons, is the 4S code. This acronym stands for Secondary Security Screening Selection, and its presence on a boarding pass implies additional security checks for the passenger. Airlines may label individuals as suspicious for various reasons, as airports maintain a vigilant stance on security. Last-minute bookings, one-way fares, or cash transactions can trigger scrutiny, leading to the inclusion of the 4S codes on your boarding pass. While it might induce a momentary sense of concern, there's generally no cause for panic unless there are undisclosed aspects that warrant closer inspection. Number 24. The silence during takeoff. The brief hush that envelops the aircraft during takeoff, where the usual hum seems to momentarily fade, can evoke both an eerie and captivating sensation. It's essential to clarify that the silence is not an ominous sign of engine trouble, but, in fact, a standard and deliberate procedure. As the plane accelerates down the runway, the engines are operating at full thrust. However, as a specific speed and altitude are attained, experienced pilots intentionally reduce the engine's power to a climb setting. This strategic move serves a dual purpose. It conserves fuel and promotes the longevity of the engines. The perceptible drop in noise levels that accompanies this reduction is not a cause for concern. Rather, it's a routine part of the journey, signifying the aircraft's smooth transition from ground to sky. Beyond the noise reduction, this phase also plays a crucial role in facilitating the aircraft's systems transition. As the plane ascends, there is a need for a shift in operations from ground-specific to those essential for flight. This momentary adjustment ensures a seamless and controlled transition. To the untrained ear, this silence might raise questions, but it's important to recognize it as an integral aspect of the takeoff process. Far from being an anomaly, it underscores the precision and expertise involved in every flight, assuring passengers that the journey is proceeding as planned. Number 23. Why window shades need to be up during takeoff and landing. Ever found yourself prompted by cabin crew to raise your window shade during takeoff or landing and wondered about the significance behind this seemingly routine request? It's not just a procedural formality, it's a vital safety measure integral to ensuring the well-being of everyone on board. The request for passengers to lift their window shades serves a crucial purpose in enhancing safety protocols. By having window shades up, both passengers and crew members gain an unobstructed view outside, enabling them to promptly detect any irregularities such as engine fires or damage to the wings. In the unfortunate event of an emergency, this visibility becomes paramount for rescue personnel outside the aircraft. It allows them to assess the situation and provide assistance more effectively. Moreover, in scenarios requiring evacuation, a clear view of the exterior is invaluable for passengers. It aids them in assessing which exits are safe to use, especially if there are obstacles like fire or debris. The natural light that floods in when shades are raised also plays a critical role. It helps passengers' eyes adjust better to external conditions, a factor that proves essential in the event of a swift exit. While it may seem like a simple act, complying with the request to raise window shades can potentially be life-saving. It underscores the importance of collective vigilance and cooperation among passengers to contribute to the overall safety of the flight. Number 22. The mystery of dimmed lights. Picture yourself settled into your seat during a nighttime flight or an early morning departure, and you've likely observed the cabin lights dimming just before takeoff and landing. Far from being a mood-setting exercise, this practice is rooted in a fundamental commitment to passenger safety. The dimming of cabin lights serves a crucial purpose, preparing passengers for the unlikely event of an emergency landing or evacuation. By gradually adjusting passengers' eyes to the darkness, this subtle measure ensures that, in the event of a crisis, individuals can navigate the cabin and locate exits more efficiently. This preemptive action becomes a vital element in optimizing every second during moments of urgency. Beyond the benefits for passengers, the dimmed lights also play a role in enhancing the safety of takeoff and landing. The subdued illumination allows the flight crew to better spot potential issues outside the aircraft, contributing to a safer and more controlled process. In essence, what might seem like a routine dimming of lights is, in fact, a thoughtful and strategic step taken to prioritize safety and readiness, emphasizing the aviation industry's commitment to ensuring the well-being of all those on board. Number 21. The truth about oxygen masks. Imagine this scenario. An aircraft encounters a sudden drop in cabin pressure, and those iconic yellow oxygen masks swiftly deploy. Contrary to some misconceptions, these masks aren't designed to keep passengers calm or unconscious. Their primary purpose is to provide life-saving oxygen. The supply of oxygen from these masks is limited, typically lasting around 12 to 15 minutes. While this may seem like a brief period, it is generally sufficient for pilots to take decisive action. Their priority is to descend the aircraft to a safer altitude where cabin pressure stabilizes and breathable air becomes readily available. In these critical moments, it is essential for passengers to secure their own masks first before assisting others. Those few seconds can make a significant difference in ensuring that you remain alert and capable of aiding fellow travelers. This simple yet crucial instruction emphasizes the importance of individual readiness, contributing to the overall safety and well-being of everyone on board. Number 20. The air you breathe is compressed engine air. The act of breathing at an altitude of 35,000 feet above ground might feel like a marvel, and indeed, the mechanism behind it is intricate. Contrary to popular belief, the air you breathe on board isn't sourced from oxygen tanks. Instead, it undergoes a fascinating process known as bleed air, derived from the plane's engines. In this sophisticated procedure, air is bled off from the engines, then compressed, cooled, and finally mixed with recirculated cabin air. This recirculated air passes through meticulously designed filters that effectively remove bacteria and viruses. The outcome is a system that ensures a continuous supply of fresh air throughout the entire flight. Remarkably, the entirety of the cabin air is typically replaced every 2 to 3 minutes, guaranteeing that passengers breathe a mix that is both fresh and devoid of contaminants. While the notion of breathing engine air might initially sound unusual, the established processes and stringent filtration mechanisms in place ensure that the air is perfectly clean and safe for inhalation. This sophisticated system not only highlights the engineering prowess in aviation, but also underscores the commitment to passenger well-being during air travel. Number 19. The myth of the fastened seatbelt sign.
That passengers need to be sitting down and put the seatbelt sign on. Okay.
The unmistakable ding of the fastened seatbelt sign is a sound familiar to anyone who has taken to the skies. While many associate its activation with turbulence or the critical phases of takeoff and landing, the reasons behind its illumination can be more varied and strategic. Certainly, turbulence remains a primary factor prompting pilots to switch on the seatbelt sign. However, it's not limited to moments of obvious air disturbance. Pilots might activate it preemptively when they anticipate rough air ahead, even if the skies appear deceptively smooth. The sign functions as a precautionary tool, reminding passengers to remain seated and securely buckled up, irrespective of the apparent calmness of the flight. The purpose of the illuminated sign extends beyond passenger safety. It serves as a crucial tool for flight attendants, preventing them from initiating beverage or meal services when unexpected rough air may be on the horizon. This measure ensures that the cabin crew is not caught off guard, maintaining their preparedness for any unforeseen turbulence. Although the temptation to ignore the sign might be strong, especially during long and seemingly smooth flights, its activation always originates from a place of caution and care. It emphasizes the commitment to safety and preparedness in air travel, encouraging passengers to heed the guidance provided by the fastened seatbelt sign for their well-being and that of the entire flight crew. Number 18. Unscheduled landings aren't always emergencies. When your flight unexpectedly makes a landing that wasn't part of the original plan, it's easy to let your mind leap to alarming conclusions. Visions of dire emergencies might spring to mind, heart rates may quicken, and anxiety can swiftly rise. However, it's crucial to understand that many unscheduled landings aren't indicative of emergencies at all. Sometimes these landings are precautionary measures taken due to minor technical glitches or passenger medical issues that necessitate immediate attention. Weather conditions can also be a contributing factor, with a sudden storm making it safer to divert and wait it out. In some instances, the reason for a diversion may be as straightforward as the need for refueling, especially if headwinds prove stronger than anticipated. It's essential to recognize that pilots and crew are extensively trained to prioritize safety above all else. Every decision made during a flight, including diversions, is undertaken with the passenger's best interests at heart. So the next time you find yourself on a plane that's diverting, rest assured that the situation is likely not as dire as it might initially seem. The precautionary measures taken are a testament to the commitment to safety and the well-being of everyone on board. Number 17. The rigorous engine out training for pilots. One of the most demanding training scenarios for pilots involves the engine out procedure. Given that multi-engine aircraft heavily depend on their engines for power and control, any malfunction or failure can pose a critical threat. However, it stands as a testament to the rigorous training that pilots undergo that they can handle such situations with precision.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Engine 2 stall.
During their training, pilots are systematically taught how to fly and safely land the plane in the event of one or even all engines failing. This intricate process involves managing the plane's glide, ensuring it can reach a suitable location for landing, and adeptly handling the aircraft systems to maximize safety. The training also incorporates the use of simulators, which play a pivotal role in replicating engine failures in various conditions. This allows pilots to practice and refine their reactions, enhancing their ability to respond effectively to such emergencies. It's crucial to note that engine failures are rare, and the likelihood of multiple engines failing simultaneously is even rarer. Nonetheless, the preparedness and proficiency of pilots in handling these scenarios are paramount to the aviation industry's safety standard. The emphasis on comprehensive training ensures that pilots can navigate and safely manage the aircraft, even under the most challenging circumstances, contributing to the overall safety and reliability of air travel.
Turkish 1588 is identified, Turkish 1039 is identified as well.
Number 16. The hidden bedroom for flight crew. Long-haul flights, spanning over a dozen hours, present a unique challenge for both passengers seeking rest and the flight crew. What many travelers may not be aware of is the existence of hidden bedrooms on board, specifically designed for the use of pilots and cabin crew. Typically situated just above the main cabin or at the tail end of the plane, these discrete rest areas, known as crew rest compartments,
This is the crew rest.
So we have
play a vital role in ensuring a well-rested flight crew. These compact spaces are equipped with bunk beds, personal storage, and, in some cases, even a small bathroom. Entry to these areas is often through a concealed door or ladder system, maintaining the privacy and seclusion necessary for the crew to recharge effectively. Prioritizing the rest of the crew is paramount for the safety and smooth operation of the flight. These hidden sanctuaries enable crew members to rotate through rest shifts, guaranteeing that there's always a fresh and alert team ready to cater to passengers' needs and manage the aircraft efficiently. By providing dedicated spaces for the flight crew to rest during long journeys, airlines uphold a commitment to the well-being of their staff, which in turn contributes to the overall safety and reliability of extended air travel. Number 15. Pilot and co-pilot meal differences. When it comes to maintaining the safety and well-being of everyone on board during flights, a crucial responsibility lies with the pilots at the helm. An intriguing and lesser-known practice employed for this purpose involves the strategic selection of meals for the pilot and co-pilot. This precautionary measure aims to mitigate the potential threat of food poisoning simultaneously affecting both key flight operators. The rationale behind this approach is clear. By serving distinct meals to the pilot and co-pilot, the risk of both individuals succumbing to food-related issues is minimized. In the unfortunate scenario where one meal is contaminated or triggers an adverse reaction, at least one pilot remains unaffected and fully capable of safely operating the aircraft. Although the probability of such an event occurring is slim, given the stringent food safety standards in aviation, the fact that airlines implement this measure highlights their commitment to comprehensive safety protocols. It underscores the meticulous attention to detail that contributes significantly to the exceptionally high safety standards upheld in modern air travel. It's these often overlooked nuances that collectively fortify the robust safety framework of the aviation industry. Number 14. The real reason behind electronic devices. Off rule. While it's commonly assumed that the rule to turn off electronic devices during takeoff and landing is primarily to prevent interference with the plane's navigation system, the reality is somewhat different. The primary concern is not necessarily interference, but rather distraction and the potential for physical harm. During these critical phases of flight, the takeoff and landing, the focus is on safety. Electronic devices, if not securely stowed, have the potential to become projectiles during sudden stops or turbulence. The rule to power off devices is in place to mitigate the risk of these items causing harm to passengers or crew members. Moreover, the takeoff and landing are crucial moments that require heightened attention. Having passengers free from headphones and device distractions ensures that, in the event of an emergency, they can hear and promptly respond to the crew's instructions. This emphasis on minimizing distractions and maintaining situational awareness prioritizes safety above all, underscoring the importance of attentiveness during these critical phases of flight. Number 13. The unused escape slides. Observing the large yellow escape slides being demonstrated during the pre-flight safety briefing may prompt curiosity about their real-world application. These slides play a crucial role in emergency evacuations, designed to deploy rapidly, enabling passengers to exit the plane swiftly in critical situations. Despite their prominence in safety procedures, the majority of these slides will likely never serve their intended purpose due to the rarity of incidents requiring their use. In the event of an emergency, these slides become invaluable, ensuring a rapid and efficient evacuation. Outside of emergencies, there have been instances where slides inadvertently deployed while planes were on the ground, causing delays. However, these occurrences also serve as inadvertent reminders of the impressive safety systems in place for every flight. So with each flight you take, know that this essential yet mostly unused tool is there, ready to serve its purpose if ever needed. While the hope is for these slides to remain folded and unused, their presence underscores the meticulous safety measures and preparedness that characterize air travel. Number 12. Water quality on board. Airplanes have water tanks filled at airports for various uses like washing hands and making coffee. While the water is treated, it's safest to drink bottled water on flights. Some reports raised concerns about contaminants in onboard water, so airlines provide bottled water to ensure passengers have a clean source. Staying hydrated in the skies? Stick to the bottled stuff for peace of mind. Number 11. Toilet functionality in the sky. For those unfamiliar with it, airplane restrooms can be a bit mysterious due to the unique conditions of flying. Traditional plumbing isn't practical at high altitudes. Instead, airplane toilets use a vacuum system. When flushed, a valve opens, and the vacuum suction swiftly moves the waste into an onboard sanitary tank. This system is highly efficient and uses minimal water, making it ideal for flight. Once the plane lands, specialized vehicles at the airport safely and hygienically empty these tanks. The blue liquid often seen in airplane toilets is a mixture of deodorant and disinfectant, ensuring cleanliness and minimizing odor. So the next time you find yourself in an airplane restroom, take a moment to marvel at the ingenuity behind this simple yet crucial aspect of flight. Number 10. Unused life jackets. Under airplane seats or within easy reach, life jackets are stored for possible water landings, mandated for flights over bodies of water. Despite being rarely used, these specially designed vests ensure quick donning and inflation after leaving the aircraft, providing buoyancy and visibility in open waters. Regular checks and maintenance are conducted to keep them in optimal condition, although passengers may seldom use or even notice these life jackets. Their presence underscores the aviation industry's unwavering commitment to safety in all possible situations.
Remember, do not pull the red tag until you leave the aircraft.
Number 8. The importance of brace position. The brace position goes beyond a standard safety protocol. It is a carefully researched posture intended to minimize injury during an emergency landing. By positioning one's head against the seat in front or between the knees and covering it with hands, the risk of head injury from forward movement is significantly reduced. Additionally, this posture directs impact to more muscular and robust body areas, such as the back of the head and hands, rather than vulnerable areas like the face or temple. The brace position also lowers the risk of being knocked unconscious, thereby facilitating evacuation efforts. Number 7. Pilots don't always use autopilot. There is a prevalent misconception that once an airplane is airborne, pilots can simply engage the autopilot and relax for the entirety of the flight. In reality, flying a plane demands constant attention and skill, even when autopilot is activated. While autopilot systems are capable of managing cruising altitudes and even executing some complex maneuvers, pilots are consistently engaged in monitoring various systems, maintaining communication with air traffic control, and ensuring the aircraft's trajectory is clear of potential turbulence or obstacles. Critical phases of flight, such as takeoff and landing, often necessitate manual control, relying on the pilot's training and expertise. Furthermore, there are instances where pilots opt for manual flying, especially in unpredictable weather conditions, to gain a better understanding of the aircraft's responsiveness. Autopilot serves as a valuable tool, but the human touch remains indispensable for ensuring the safety and efficiency of every flight.
The longitudinal axes from nose to tail, the lateral from wingtip to wingtip, and then the vertical which goes straight down.
Number 6. Food preparation and quality standards. Behind those tray tables, airplane food is made in flight kitchens on the ground. These kitchens follow strict quality and health standards set by airlines and local regulations. Meals are quickly cooled to prevent bacteria, then reheated on board. Contrary to some beliefs, the food isn't prepared weeks in advance. It's usually done 24 to 48 hours before the flight. The challenge is making sure the taste stays good at 35,000 feet, and airlines work hard to design meals that still taste good in the air, aiming for an enjoyable dining experience. Now, it's time for today's subscriber pick. Greetings, viewers. Please direct your attention to this image. It appears to be quite intriguing, but the question arises, why are these flight attendants undressed? Initially, one might assume it's a routine check, but the situation appears peculiar and unusual. Despite their professional appearance as flight attendants, it seems ethically questionable for them to be undressed. There might be an alternative explanation for what is depicted in this picture. So, dear viewers, we encourage you to contribute your thoughts and insights in the comment section as we try to unravel the mystery captured in this image. Number 5. Dumps and fuel jettisoning. In specific emergency situations, particularly after takeoff when a plane is laden with fuel, it may be essential to rapidly reduce its weight. This process, known as fuel jettisoning or fuel dumping, involves the release of fuel through special valves in the wings to lighten the aircraft for a safer emergency landing. Contrary to concerns, the expelled fuel quickly evaporates, dispersing in the atmosphere before reaching the ground. This procedure is not undertaken casually, considering the economic and environmental implications of discarding valuable fuel. It is employed only when the safety benefits outweigh all other considerations.
That if the pilots land the plane with a descent rate of not more than sort of roughly 300 to 400 feet per minute.
Number 4. Limitations of the weather radar. Weather radar systems onboard aircraft are essential for detecting and navigating through stormy conditions. These systems emit radio waves that bounce back when they encounter raindrops or other precipitation, providing a visual representation of weather patterns ahead. Despite their importance, these radars have limitations. They primarily identify moisture, so they may not detect dry turbulence lacking significant moisture. Additionally, there is a possibility that radars may misinterpret dense ground areas, like mountains, as storm systems, potentially confusing pilots. Moreover, the radar's angle is tailored to capture data from a specific altitude, potentially causing it to miss weather activity above or below that level. While these weather radar systems are crucial tools for pilots, their effectiveness is enhanced when used in conjunction with other information sources, such as updates from air traffic control or first-hand reports from fellow aircraft.
Terrain, in up. Sink rate, pull up.
Number 3. The reality of in-flight thieves. While the majority of travelers embark on their flights brimming with excitement and eager anticipation for their destination, an exceptionally small fraction may harbor less than savory intentions. Although in-flight theft is a rare occurrence, it is not entirely unprecedented. A select few individuals with dubious motives, often journeying solo, take advantage of moments when fellow passengers are in the embrace of sleep or preoccupied, rifling through overhead bins or unchecked bags in pursuit of valuable items. Some even go to the lengths of disguising themselves as benevolent co-passengers, offering seemingly helpful advice on stowing bags in far-off compartments, only to later access them without arousing suspicion. Airlines and their vigilant crews undergo extensive training to navigate such situations, yet passengers also bear a responsibility to stay alert. Opting to store valuables, including money, jewelry, and electronic devices, beneath the seat in front rather than in overhead bins can significantly mitigate the risk of theft. Remaining cognizant of one's surroundings and being attuned to any unusual behavior can further dissuade these opportunistic wrongdoers. While the skies predominantly provide a safe passage, it serves as a poignant reminder that caution should accompany passengers, even when soaring above the clouds. Number 2. The secret language of flight attendants while flight attendants. As flight attendants move around the plane, they have a secret way of communicating with each other. This hidden language involves coded phrases, hand signals, and specific sounds. It helps them discuss things quietly, like dealing with a difficult passenger, handling a medical issue, or asking for more supplies without alarming everyone. For example, 2 dings might mean the plane is cruising. This silent communication ensures a smooth and calm flight, allowing attendants to manage situations effectively without disturbing passengers. Number 1. Real purpose of the winglets. The distinctive upward or sometimes downward curving tips you observe on airplane wings, known as winglets, are far more than mere aesthetic additions. They serve a critical aerodynamic purpose. Winglets are meticulously designed to address the issue of drag caused by wingtip vortices, turbulent swirls of air formed at the wing's tip as the plane moves through the air. By reducing this drag, winglets play a crucial role in improving fuel efficiency and enhancing an aircraft's range. The introduction of winglets has enabled airlines to achieve significant savings on fuel costs annually, thereby making flights more economical and environmentally friendly. The specific shape and design of winglets can vary based on the aircraft model and its intended use. However, regardless of appearance, their primary function remains consistent: to make flights more efficient by mitigating the impact of wingtip vortices and reducing overall drag.